Now, a veterinary charity has warned that some of its services are under threat because of unprecedented demand and a 60% increase in bills over the last decade. The PDSA carried out more than 2 million treatments last year and says it needs more donations to meet demand. Our correspondent Ben Godfrey went to see a typical day in one of the charity's animal hospitals in Birmingham.
Come on, gorgeous. Jump, James.
At the PDSA hospital in Aston, a returning patient. With a suspected infection, it's an XL bully. It's now a criminal offence to own or possess one unless you have a valid exemption. It's a breed keeping vets busy.
We do actually get quite a lot of XL bullies come through our doors. In public, they have to have a muzzle on, they have to be on a lead, they have to be well restrained. But they also, as part of the agreement of them being allowed to live with their owners, is to have them neutered. So, of course, that's something that we need to try and meet that demand of getting them neutered, and that's been a real strain on our staff.
The Aston Hospital averages 120 patients a day. From 8 in the morning, there are pre-booked appointments and emergency admissions. Today, the hospital has reduced staffing, so no guarantees you'll be seen quickly. But then this is a charity whose vet services cost around £200,000 a day to run, and they're entirely reliant on public donations.
Veterinary care is expensive, healthcare is expensive. We know because we're having to run 49 pet hospitals every year. You know, those doors are open. So we do have these challenges, but we have to keep going. This is what we're here for.
The PDSA, as a charity, offers free or reduced price treatment, depending on the pet owner's access to benefits like universal credit. Deanna Corns has brought in 7-year-old bull terrier Rosie, who needs bladder stones removed.
So just to be seen at the vets, it was 70 quid just to be seen at the vets, where I brought her here the other day, and to be seen, scanned and medication was £50-something. So it was a lot cheaper.
The vet bills are extortionate at normal vets. I've had a quote, it's going to cost £2,000 at the normal vet. Private. Can't afford that.
The charity's treated more than 430,000 animals in 2023. Of those, 90,000 emergencies, and demand is increasing.
It would be wonderful if things did ease, but we have to be prepared for the worst. And we've got to make sure that we're really careful and budget so that our pets don't suffer as a result of our financial hardship.
Rosie will have surgery after scans identified 2 bladder stones. But there could be further costs to come.
The clients who come in, they do struggle, so we have the conversation with going forward is a case of, are you able to afford those commercial dyes, prescription dyes? Because if you can't, then us just doing the surgery for now is not going to be good enough, because we will be back in same position in a couple of years' time.
From the big to the extremely small, there is a daily uncertainty to this job, but also joy. A kitten, one of a litter of 5 born prematurely, is here in their care. The sole survivor. Ben Godfrey, BBC News.
Some very sweet pictures there, but a concerning picture. Malcolm Morley is from the British Veterinary Association and joins us now from Winchester. Good morning to you. Why are vet bills so high at the moment?
I think you've got to look at the cost of just providing these specialised treatments. A lot of the care that we're doing takes a lot of resource. Running a practice, paying the people, just running a veterinary business is not what you might imagine.
And what would you say to pet owners then, who at the moment are really struggling to pay those bills? Because as we know, the charities are also struggling to meet the need.
Yeah, it's a great question, and one that vets want to address as well. When you come into your veterinary practice, if you're concerned about cost, talk about it. Many people want the very best for their animals because they're like members of their family. But at the same time, if you're concerned, talk to your vet, express those concerns early, because there's always different ways of treating things. We want to provide the very best care we can, but sometimes fitting in with you and your animal's needs is important.
I mean, we know that 13% of dog owners were forced into debt to covering the costs of caring for their dog. So you can see how some pet owners make some really difficult decisions. And unfortunately, pet insurance, for example, could be one of the things to go when you're under pressure.
Yeah, absolutely. And of course, pet insurance is the very thing that is helping you iron out those blips. We're really concerned whenever we hear about people who are struggling to care for their animals because of the cost of it. It's really important to think about the cost of owning an animal throughout its lifetime. It's not just the food, there's so much more to it. And of course, many people fall on unexpected hardships. So charities like the PDSA are great in this situation.
The CMA, the competitions body, has expressed real concern about veterinary practices and the pricing systems. Can you understand why some pet owners have lost trust in taking out insurance?
Yeah, as veterinary professionals, we welcome the CMA's investigation of the veterinary industry. There are certainly areas where we think we can do better. We're ready to listen to that, and we have a working group within the British Veterinary Association addressing some of those things. So it's a welcome thing to be looking at.
And do you think because of the CMA review, prices could come down because they're seeking to increase competition, aren't they? For example, on direct comparisons on direct comparison market sites, potentially then there could be a shift.
I think that's unlikely. I think a lot of it, we are providing care for animals, doing the best we can without overcharging. A lot of what the CMA is looking at is how to improve conversations, understanding about transparency of prices and that side of things.
OK. What would you say then to a pet owner who is considering giving up insurance and doesn't really know where to start when it comes to seeking out the best price?
So a lot of it is just very similar to human healthcare. If you want to keep your animals healthy, do the very basic things first. Don't let them get overweight. Keep them fit. The dogs, take them for plenty of walks. Make sure you're giving them the right diet. Brush their teeth if you can, because again, that's an area which there's a lot of health issues. So those really basic things. If you don't yet own a pet, make sure you buy the right breed. Talk to your vet, because there are some breeds that we see considerably more of than others.
And finally, Malcolm, what would your message be to pet owners who think they can make a saving by not insuring the pet or not going to the vet when they spot an early issue? Because as we know, things can get a lot worse very quickly.
We asked our members at the British Veterinary Association about animals that present late because people have put it off. And they said that a lot of the time it ends up costing more. So go early and have those really honest conversations with your vet about cost.
Malcolm Morley, Senior Vice President of the British Veterinary Association, live from Winchester this morning. Thank you for your time, and we enjoyed seeing